And we are live. I'm going to share my screen with you. Do you see the chart?
Yes, I can.
All right, Anya, when's your birthday?
It's the 12th of April, 1975
What time?
at 9:20 p.m.
Where?
in Poole. That's in the UK. That's Poole.
All right, Scorpio rising.
Yeah,
Great. Okay. I always start with the same question, which is just tell me a bit about what's going on in your life currently.
I'm kinship caring my grandson and home educating him, which is quite a big thing. So my daughter wasn't able to look after her son, so I am.
Interesting. Why not?
He's autistic, and I think actually, in retrospect, my daughter probably is, and they just clash, and she's not able to deal with him. So he's living with me and my husband, and I'm homeschooling him,
How
and
interesting is that?
that's causing a bit of financial because
And
I'm
how,
unable to work. I do 1 day a week, but I can't work outside the home at the moment because I'm in the home looking after my grandson. So yeah.
since when?
January we moved. We lived a year with my daughter to see if we could support her that way. And in January this year we moved out, just the three of us, um, to do it that way because we realised it wasn't going to work the other way.
All right. Um, yeah, actually you're starting off strong. So let's talk about what's happening in your chart. Um, wow. All right, let's start with the Pluto moon. So this for me is the first thing. You can see that so on the inside wheel is your natal chart, right? You have the moon at
Yeah,
5 degrees Taurus. The outside wheel is are you kind of familiar with astrological language, by the way?
yeah. I've been studying a little bit, so I'm just a beginner.
You're just a beginner. Okay, please tell me if something doesn't is you don't understand, and I will
Okay,
clarify, okay?
thank you.
Okay. So the first thing is notice you have the moon at 5 Taurus, and in the transits, Pluto is currently at 5 degrees Aquarius. So the square is exact.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, it has been since the beginning of 26. And even before, actually, Pluto was applying that square since I guess 24 already.
Yeah.
But never mind, like this is where we are now. The square is exact. And you see the Pluto's transiting your third house of early education.
Ah,
And Pluto itself is that very destructive, challenging, life-altering force to the moon, which is your daughter and your grandchild, anyone that's in your family. Right? So that you're going through this period where, well, you have to take care. There for me is the moon in Taurus in the seventh. You're providing the safety, security, and stability that I guess you always have because of
yeah.
where your moon is. And yeah, this is why you're going through that period right this moment.
Wow.
The other part that is interesting is just notice you have Jupiter and Mercury in the fifth. And that makes me think about you homeschooling that child. And I guess because of Aries, what I feel is that the I guess it's a boy, right?
Yes.
Okay. I guess he's quite active.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, if he had to go to school, they'd just label him as disruptive, but he's not. He's just high energy. He's a typical young boy. Yeah, lots of energy.
Exactly. I mean, think about a Jupiter in Aries in the fifth house.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
really
because it
wild.
expands. Yeah.
Can you say a bit maybe about some of the behaviors?
Um, he's very creative, and he likes to just run with his ideas. So we sort of I homeschool, as in, he'll come up with an idea and we'll just follow that through for the day. I don't do structure. If I try and structure anything, he'll just try and rebel. Whereas if I flow with him, like the other day, we did some counting games. Then he wanted to cut it up and make it into a game for his family. And then we posted it and we walked up the post box with Pooh Bear, and it just sort of flows. And then that's when it works. Whereas if I go, right, we're going to do this today, he would just be like, nope, that's not happening. So,
Or
yeah,
do you feel the Aries
it's
energy
fluid.
in what you're describing?
Sorry.
Do you feel the Aries energy in what you're describing? There's no
Oh, yeah,
structure.
independent and
Exactly.
headstrong, and yeah.
Yep, you just follow his ideas. He gets an idea and you just go along with it. And every day is a new ride, and it's random and it's wild and it's new and it's
Yeah,
impulsive, right?
and
And
it's
so
great
you're just
fun.
right. Exactly. And it's very high energy, very exciting, very lifting, very kind of woo. I can imagine it's very enlivening for you.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can see like Jupiter, right? Into the fifth house. So you're doing all kinds of arts and crafts, all kinds of stuff you
Yeah.
didn't think to do. He's introducing you. You're growing through him.
Yeah. We picked up a loom the other day. I've always been into crochet and knitting, but we picked up a weaving loom the other day. So
Was it
we're
about
learning
three
how
days
to,
ago?
yeah.
All right.
Uh, yeah. Yeah. Just in the last few days. So I
All
can't remember
right.
the exact day. Um,
So look at what happened a few days ago. All right. I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3 days.
it's something that I've wanted to do for ages, but yeah, I just thought it's going to be perfect for Arthur, and he loves it. We got it out straight away and started warping it up, and um, yeah, did a bit of weaving. I mean, it wasn't great, but we'll get better. But yeah, he was really into that, and he concentrated for a long while doing it.
All right. Look,
It was great.
17th of May was last Sunday. We had a
Yeah.
new moon conjunct your Venus in Taurus. So think about the loom, Taurus, Venus, crocheting.
Ah,
Yeah.
ah,
And it's
yeah.
happened just on the new moon conjunct your Venus in Taurus.
Oh wow.
That you get the loom and you start to play with it, work with it, make things on it. What do you do with the loom?
Yeah, so we fabric. So Arthur's idea is that he wants to make scarves for everybody for Christmas, and he's got sort of an idea that he wants to do a craft fair as well, where he sort of tries to sell his wares. So yeah, it
Okay,
just
so
really, because he likes
mhm.
playing with wool. He'll wrap the stairs up in wool, and he'll just, yeah, he's got his own little wool stash already. So for a boy to be that into wool is like he definitely knows that that's one of his things. But I find crocheting really relaxing as well. So um, yeah, it might be his
How come
creative
has
outlet.
he started making the scarves now since he got the loom?
Yeah, so we made a piece of weaving, and we've got it planned again tomorrow to get the loom out. He's out today with his granddad, but yeah, so every opportunity he's wanting to do the loom. So
Okay, good. So think about that. There was a new moon conjunct your Venus in Taurus, which starts a new chapter. And in this new chapter, you have the loom. And every day he wants to be with the loom and do something with it. And now he's also in the period of making the scarves, which are going to be for the
yeah,
next season. Yeah. So
yeah,
do you understand? Does that make sense to you? Right? New moon conjunct Venus and
yeah,
Taurus, the loom comes. Okay.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, astrology just gets me every time. It's just like, wow. Yeah,
Right. You can also think about your moon and Venus that are in Taurus, about all of the wool that he has around. Or he likes to play
yeah,
with wool. He likes to wrap the stairs in wool.
yeah,
Yeah. That also makes me think about your son that is in Aries in the sixth house. Because
yeah,
I can see your daily life is very spontaneous.
yes,
And it's being with him, being with a very young boy. Right, Aries?
yeah.
Okay. Where's your daughter in all this?
So my daughter, she sees Arthur once or twice a week. She's very it was quite a hard decision for her to make, for me to be doing the the raising, but she knows that it's the right one to make. So yeah, she's sort of struggling a little bit, just because it's such a hard decision. But yeah, the sort of bottom line is that she had a child too early and then didn't stay with the father, so she's got another child with um another father, and they've got like a little unit, and Arthur didn't sort of fit. um so yeah, she just, yeah, I think struggling would be how I describe Charlotte at the moment mentally. But yeah, I think she'll get there. We're very close. Still, we sort of chat most days. And Arthur, sorry, yeah, Arthur can ring up his mum. So I keep thinking maybe I shouldn't be using his name, but it's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah.
So let's
Uh,
talk about something different. It's about Saturn passing through your fifth. So
yeah.
currently transiting Saturn is at 11 degrees of Aries in your fifth house. And you can see that on two levels because one, your child is going through a hard time. But
Yeah.
two, you in fact are a parent all over again.
Yeah.
And so you end up saddled with the responsibility, which is not a negative thing, it's just a fact,
Yeah.
of raising another kid at this age. Not that you're
Yeah.
very old, you're like, what, 51?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
still.
still, I didn't
Yeah,
think it was going to happen. So I'd done my
exactly.
bit.
And again, you can see that at this moment, Saturn passing through Aries is exactly square your Saturn in Cancer.
Oh, cool. And that counts as the home, isn't it?
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
that your daughter is struggling and that the families aren't getting along. The family had to split. Now you have to figure out how to do this kind of like dual meeting together, raising
Yeah.
him, Arthur. Also
Yeah.
makes me think about you being the one to shape and form him because Saturn sits in your ninth house.
Oh, okay. What is the ninth house? Sorry. Um,
The house of study, the house of competence, the house of perception, the house of perspective.
it's normally Scorpio, isn't it? The ninth.
It's
No?
normally
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I know the. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What have you done for work traditional before you had, I guess you had to leave
So
work
I
to do this, or?
yeah, I trained as a bookkeeper while my daughter was young, because I was a single mum, and I needed to do something that I could work around raising my daughter. So I became a bookkeeper, but I always felt like a square peg in a round hole. Um,
In what
so
sense?
um, I was never really myself. I was really good at the work, but I could never be as hippie as I really am. Had to be sensible and um,
Oh, there is Saturn in your ninth house. Because
what I
the
had
ninth
to be
house
less
is about,
hippie.
it's about your perspective in life and about how you
Yeah,
reason and about what you believe. And so what I'm hearing now is that in your work as a bookkeeper, you were not able to express how you really see the world. So you couldn't be
no,
your hippie, dippy self.
yeah. I'm very creative, and yeah, you can't do that doing bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is, you put it in the right place basically, and you do the same thing day in, day out, day in, day out. So yeah, I was able to do it, but yeah, I didn't enjoy any of it. Whereas um, my other sort of jobs that I've had, like at the moment, I'm managing to work a day a week in a fabric shop, and I love that because I get to talk to other people that create.
Okay. So it's actually a big opening for you with the kid.
Yeah,
He's
it's I don't have to be who I was trying to be before, because that doesn't work anyway. So I can take my square peg and go and find a square hole rather than or round peg, whichever way it is.
how
And
wonderful.
Yes. So yeah, and because he loves all the creative side, um, yeah, we're just having fun all the time, rather than me trying to fit myself into a box.
Okay. There's a few things coming up. First of all, your Aries stellium,
Yeah,
especially that it's mostly in the fifth, right? So that makes me think about you being a huge creative, out of box thinker, very independent, into the new, modern, excited, fun, right? But
yeah,
then you have the moon and Venus and Taurus. There's the
yeah.
bookkeeping doing the same stable, secure, predictable thing every day, crunching numbers and making sure that they're correct.
Yeah, I was really good at it. I was very good at it. But yeah, I didn't enjoy most of it.
Yeah, Venus and Taurus. Of course you were good. I guess you were doing
Yeah.
it for other people, like small businesses.
Yeah, I was lucky I did manage to work for a couple of charities, so that felt like I was doing something worthwhile. Yeah, no, I mainly ran payrolls, which are, you have to get it right because people like to be paid correctly. So it's quite high pressure some of the time.
Ah, that makes me think about your Mercury Saturn square.
Mm,
Because Mercury is the one to fill out the books,
yeah,
and Saturn is the one to make sure that there's strict compliance. You have to follow certain rules.
yeah.
And in your case, that Saturn is in Cancer, right? It's payroll. People depend on that money to
Oh,
support their life, to support their
yeah,
families, to be well, to support their health, right? And
yeah,
I feel that square with Mercury and Aries is like maybe the panic sometimes, or people getting angry
yeah,
or intense. Yeah, or wanting something
yeah,
now. They want an answer now. They want to reach you now.
yeah.
There, yeah, yeah. All the Aries also feels like a level of panic.
What
Yeah.
with Mercury and Aries?
Well, because you have the stellium in Aries, right? And especially Jupiter Sun. Aries for me is kind of critical, and like imagine like a siren, right? Or a fire truck. They have to get somewhere very quickly and have to rush. That's the Aries energy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, I mean, you can tell us how that was for you before, but now, right, you're running around with Arthur.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am tired at the end of the day. Tired doesn't sort of cover it, but
Yeah.
it's a good tired. It's a yeah. But I did contact somebody the other day because this is all new to me, the kinship caring and yeah, the sort of restriction on my earning capacity. I did contact somebody the other day to see if there's any help just to get some respite, and she said you need more than a couple of hours respite. So I'm going to meet her in a week or so, and we're going to fill out some forms and hopefully get some funding, which will ease the pressure. Because that probably makes me more tired than the actual running around. Is the how am I actually going to do this long term? Because if I can't earn, then
All right.
so I just
So,
need to start thinking creative as well
okay.
of ways to earn.
So first of all, there's your Saturn square from the 5th to the
Yeah,
ninth, Cancer Aries. So this makes me think the whole child rearing thing with Arthur is completely new for you. By the way, not just in the financial sense, but also like understanding his needs, um, and also like working with his mom in difference of opinion on how a child should be raised, and just like getting used to this new lifestyle. So I feel like you're also in a period of trying to be a better parent and looking for the resources.
yeah,
And if we go back, because you said a few days ago, okay? So remember the loom.
yeah,
The loom was also a few days ago. I'm going to go back to the full moon because it's relevant. The new moon
yeah,
part. All right. So again, the new moon was conjunct your Venus and Taurus in the seventh. And you reached out to somebody who's going to help you secure funding so that you can actually sustain this in the long term. Now it's time to think about, so where can I get help? There's the new moon conjunct Venus again. And now look at what's happening next. You said that you're meeting her in the next week. All right, I'm going to go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 6 days, the sun enters your 8th house. In the 8th house,
People's
you
money.
get exactly. Right, but it's in
Oh,
Gemini, so you're filling out forms, you're submitting
yeah.
applications, you're looking at different options, you're getting informed, you're asking
Yeah,
different
because I don't know
people.
anything at the moment about kinship caring. I just, it was just, yeah, it just landed on me, and I'm dealing with it. But I feel like now I'm sort of, uh, yeah, over the sort of not trauma of it, but like the chaos of it, and now I can start making it more secure.
Hmm. You said you're doing this with your husband.
Yeah, yeah, he's wonderful. Yeah, because obviously he's not Charlotte's dad. So, but yeah, he's really supportive. We did go through a little bit of a because neither of us envisaged raising a child. I mean, he's older than me as well, so we'll be raising Arthur until we pop off the planet, basically. So that's not everybody's idea of a retirement. So we did have a
Wow.
little bit of a wobble, because he is such high energy. But yeah, no, he loves um, Arthur and me. And yeah, so it's nice because before, when I raised my daughter, I did it alone. That's probably the difference that you saw in the chart. This time I'm raising the child with somebody else, and that's a whole different way of doing it. I'm not the only person in charge. I don't have the final say, although I sort of do, because women are the one that um, sort of do the child rearing. But yeah, so I've had to learn how to raise a child with somebody else as well. That's different to me. I was used to doing it on my own.
That is so interesting. Okay, that gives there's many things opening up now, so we're just gonna go through them one by one. All right. It's the story of the sun, moon, and Saturn. That's just how it comes up for me. So notice, first of all, Saturn in Cancer. And so, first of all, you raised your daughter on your own,
Yeah,
right? So being a mother was like, whoa, a big teaching for you.
yeah,
And now, once again, you don't get to escape motherhood. You get to do it a second time. Saturn in Cancer, right? Your biggest responsibility is in child rearing and support.
yeah.
Okay. Then notice that your sun is an Aries. And Aries is the person to do things alone. They don't have help. They don't have to ask anyone for anything. They just go
No,
and
I hate asking.
right. And so there's you raising the child alone, right? Because there's Saturn in Cancer, and then there's the Sun in Aries. And
Yeah,
the moon in Taurus, lastly, in the seventh for me is like probably you kept your daughter very close, and she was your purpose for everything you did was like just to secure her life.
yeah,
And I guess you and her were very close also when she was little. You were pretty protective, I'm guessing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're still very close. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
did. I felt like I put my life on hold to raise Charlotte, and the thought then was that I'd go wild once she was an adult. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the wildness has sort of calmed down a little bit anyway as I grow older. So
right. Yeah.
yeah,
And you get to experience it now through Arthur, don't you? The wildness that
yeah,
you dreamed of.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not in the way you had envisioned, I guess.
I actually just thinking then I don't feel as restricted as I did when I was raised in Charlotte as I do. Sorry, I felt very restricted as a single mum. I don't feel as restricted, but maybe that's because I'm doing it with somebody else.
Right. Yeah. You're not alone. You have help. You
Yeah,
don't have to be like, wow,
yeah, Has to
So
be everything.
because everything falls on you, that must be so stressful for such a small child that needs to survive. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess you've been a provider and are
yeah.
continue to be provide security for the people around you.
So it's Saturn in Cancer that's why I like to provide security.
Well, for me, it's also the moon and Venus in the seventh house Taurus, right? Because the seventh house is the people around you, whereas Taurus is like fixed. You don't move. You right?
Yeah. But saying that, I've moved loads house wise. That's been quite yeah.
Okay. That brings me to your Mars in
Mm.
Pisces in the fourth.
I've moved too many times.
How come?
Um, just yeah, unstable. When you rent, obviously the landlord can decide to sell up. Um, yeah, I just feel that I probably moved my daughter too many times. Um,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and yeah, I bought a house very young and felt restricted. That was before I had my daughter. Well, excuse me. And then I didn't feel like owning a house, but now I do. I really want to own a house. But yeah, so I need to work out a way of doing that, but later in life. So, but I find that yeah, life sort of comes up with surprises when you're not expecting it. So
Okay, therefore, I feel your Mars in the fourth in Pisces very much, right? Pisces is mutable. Pisces is all over the place. Pisces is unpredictable. Pisces doesn't know where it's going next. Pisces is just flowing from one place to the next.
yeah,
So therefore, Mars in the fourth, right? Landlords can choose to evict you whenever they want. You have to find a new place. You go here, there, move cities, instability, change. You can see it also
yeah,
in the situation with Arthur now. Not that it's unstable in the household, but in the sense of like every day you have no idea what he's going to come up with, where he's going to take you next, what he's going to do in the house. Is he going to put wool on the stairs? You're going to put wool on the cabinets, right? It's like it becomes kind of a jungle at home, and not in a bad sense.
no, yeah. He does like covering the floor with most of his toys. We do tidy it up 2 or 3 times a day, but yeah, straight away afterwards he'll then tip out another box. Even though I say, "Can you just take a toy out?" But that's not his way. He tips it out to find what he wants. So yeah,
So
it's always a jungle.
think about Pisces is the floor because it's the last sign, so it's the bottom, right? It's the feet.
Yeah.
So the Aries
Oh,
starts with the head, and you move down the body, and you reach Pisces, you reach the feet. Because you imagine when you step into a pool of water, right? The first thing to touch the water is the feet.
yeah.
That's how you enter the lower realms. And therefore, Mars and Pisces in the fourth, the floor is covered with toys
Yeah.
every day, right?
Yeah, because that's the only thing that not annoys my husband, but that's the only thing that gets him is that he'll come in and the floor's covered, and I'm thinking I only tidied it up 10 minutes ago. So yeah, I try and get it uncovered by the time he gets home from work, but it very rarely happens.
Okay, that makes me think about how currently there's Uranus squaring your Mars. And so I guess that's something new to get used to. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just new and unpredictable. And yeah.
Uh,
Hmm. The other thing, it was again about your Aries Cancer square. And in fact, despite the orbs, I would just say that your entire Aries stellium is squaring Saturn in Cancer. And the reason I point that out is because you told me that when you had bought a house, you felt very restricted. And also being a single mom, right?
yeah.
Raising your daughter alone, you felt very restricted. And so for me, that's the
Yeah.
tension between the Aries energy
Yeah.
And Saturn in Cancer, the responsibility for raising a child. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you have the same restriction again, just in a very different format, but you see how the chart repeats itself.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, as you sort of get older, the restriction seems less anyway, because yeah, with restriction comes other good things. It's not all bad.
Yes.
Yes.
And that, by the way,
That
makes
was
me
the way
think
they
about.
about.
Oh, sorry, now there's an echo. Did something change with your microphone? No. Okay, it's good
No,
now. Okay, it's
no.
good.
Oh, cool.
Saturn is also about aging because Saturn is the real world. It's like Saturn is life on Earth, and life on Earth, you learn has certain things about it. Right? You have to
Yeah,
provide, you have your responsibility, you need to be good in relationships, you have to be considerate of other people. It's all like the real life stuff. And as you age, all that becomes easier because you just have more experience. You know how life works and you're not surprised by things as much anymore. So it just makes me think also about your age and your relationship to Saturn. You're much further along than a young person than when you were a single mom, for example, right? So you say now you feel a lot less restricted. And I feel it's like, well, you just aged, right? So you see things differently.
yeah, yeah. And where the previous, when raising a child on my own obviously capped my earning ability, well, that worried me a lot more than it is at the moment. I'm like, I know that the universe will supply it, something will come along, and like you say, on that new moon,
Yeah.
I met the person that's going to help me fill in the forms because there is funding available. I just don't like asking. But
Oh,
I'm not asking for myself. I'm asking for my grandson, so I can do that.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, see again to provide for someone else. So again, I'm feeling the Venus moon in the seventh. It's like, okay, you will ask and you will do what's necessary to take care of the people around you, right? Provide that
Yeah,
security for him.
yeah. I find it easier to do it if it's for somebody else.
Yeah. I guess all your life you've been that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So you did bookkeeping, there's no bookkeeping. What else do you do? It feels like there should be nature, like going out, seeing
Yeah.
animals, going to the zoo, going for walks in the park, going running in a field.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like outside. I'm um very into animals. I find just when we started this video, a black cat came into my garden. I feel that that's like, you know, the other realm talking to me. I see dragonflies. One landed on my arm and winked at me. So, but yeah, so I get I'm quite spiritual. I get a lot of like ladybirds is another sign for me, and a crow crowing. That's my gran saying hello to me. I get a lot of stuff that people think is woo woo. I try and talk about it to them. They just think, yeah, she's crazy. So yeah, and that's why I'm drawn to astrology as well, because the more I learn, the more I'm just like blown away by how spot on it all is, and how all interrelates. And yeah, um so I've got that sort of side to me where um yeah, I sort of believe a lot of spiritual stuff, but I haven't found the people that I can talk to about it, because as I say, when I talk to most people in my life, they sort of think I'm a bit woo woo. So
I see. Okay,
but
this for me
I
is about your Mercury Jupiter conjunction in Aries. I feel that you introduce a lot of new ideas to people and you're open,
yeah,
you're very open-minded. But there's the square to Saturn in your ninth. And because the ninth house again is about people's beliefs. And so that people constantly think that you're woo-woo or they don't take you seriously or they feel like what you're doing is a waste of time or they don't believe it or you have to argue for your faith in astrology and the spiritual, right? So there for me, Saturn in the ninth.
yeah, I don't really argue. I just don't. carry on the conversation, because it's not up to me to change other people's. I'll tell them what I think, not like I'll tell you what I think, but I'll share what I've found. And if they find it interesting, then I'll continue talking with them. But if I see that sort of glazed look, I'll sort of change the subject and talk about something. But I don't like sort of gossip or chit chat, or I don't have many people that I find talk on a sort of deeper level. But I've got something in my 11th house, I think, that I'm trying to remember what it is.
No, I know, but for me, it's
I've got
something
Euro.
different. For me, it's about your Mercury Saturn square.
Oh, okay.
Because talking to people and introducing new ideas to them is your Mercury in Aries. And the square with Saturn in the 9th is that oftentimes you're met with resistance or disinterest, and so you don't have a chance to connect with people on that level that is also important for you, right? Spiritually, philosophically.
Yeah.
You have
So
Pluto with the 11th.
how would you work with the square then? So, or you just that's how it is.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's not that that's that. That materializes in a billion different ways.
Yeah.
And this thing that we're talking about is just one of them. But you can see that you've also met me, right? A competent person who can talk to you very openly and freely about this.
Yeah. And actually today the Uranus is Cazimi, the sun.
Exactly.
And we
Yeah.
were meant to meet 2 weeks ago, and I got the timing wrong. So when I saw that, I thought, "Ah, that's obviously what I need to meet today."
So that tells me that this is kind of like unusual for you to have this kind of conversation.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's why I was so upset last time when I missed it. I actually cried. I was like, "Oh, I've got the blooming time wrong." So yeah. So I'm so glad, and I wouldn't normally then email you and say, "Oh, I got the time wrong," and then you got back and said, "Well, just rebook," and I was like, "Yes, I can rebook."
Okay, now I get the Uranus Kazemi for you in Gemini.
Oh, it's in Gemini as well. Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. That is well cool. So
Okay, so you don't have anyone really. You don't really engage with people on this much.
I did no, I used to go to an astrology circle when we were living in Devizes. It was in Bradford on Avon, but now we've moved a bit further. It's not commutable. But there's nothing around where I'm living at the moment. But once I get more settled, and um I will start trying to find. I'm doing an online course, but I find that a little bit to do this, do that, do, and it's I prefer to follow what I'm finding and
Yes,
researching. I've got loads of books that I'm reading as well at the moment. I sort of find it easier to self-study rather than follow a curriculum.
totally. And most astrology curriculums are absolute nonsense. They just cram you with information because they don't really know how it works. Never mind. That's a subject for another time. But actually, in what you're describing, you can see the Mercury Saturn square again, right? Because by the way, okay, here's another piece. Saturn in transit is currently conjunct your Mercury and square your Saturn. Is also conjunct your Jupiter. So think about that. Saturn is conjunct your Jupiter and Mercury. You're in a course at the moment for something that you
Yeah,
love and enjoy, but the curriculum is too difficult to understand, not flexible enough, not fun enough, not spontaneous enough, too rigid,
yeah,
right? So there's
yes.
Saturn conjunct Jupiter and Mercury.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not finding it difficult, just dry, just like not interesting enough, because it, like you say, it's trying to spoon feed you astrology, whereas it feels more to me like you've got to go down loads of rabbit holes, you find something out, and then you go and research it, and it's more fluid than a curriculum can be.
Yep. Exactly. And even if you just take out Mercury and Jupiter and focus on the Saturn square by itself, right? Because again, you have Saturn in the ninth house of learning. So when you take a course, but you end up not being happy with the course, there I feel the Saturn square. I feel that it's not fun enough for you. It's
No.
taking the joy out. Yeah.
Yeah. And I found that at school also. Like I love textiles. I love making, I'm always sewing, knitting, crocheting. I did textiles at school and absolutely hated it because they kept trying to tell me what to do and how to do it. And you must do it like this. And I'm like, no, you don't need to do it like that. You could do it like this and find out, how it actually works rather than being told how it works. I want to know, like with crochet, I can just look at something that somebody else has made and I can recreate that. I don't need a pattern. I know how to do it. And that's sort of how I want to know astrology. So I just know it. I don't have to then follow a formula to get to the answer. I want to know it. I want to like a deeper sort of, I can't explain it, but it's, and that's what I'm not getting from the course. Like a, yeah, but I am getting from my self study and just researching and yeah.
Okay.
But I would like to, yeah, obviously talk to more. So that's my next thing on my list. Find like-minded souls in my area.
Okay. So your crochet and your work with textiles is the Moon,
Yeah,
Venus, Taurus. Yeah. That you love
yeah,
to work with materials and you're very good and it keeps you calm and it's just like a natural joy. Moon, Venus, Taurus, right? However, then you also have the Mercury Saturn square. Mercury in Aries is like, I want to do it like this. I want to try this. Oh, this looks fun. And then comes Saturn in the ninth, which is the teacher saying, no, you can't do it like that. You have to do it like this. You have to follow these instructions. You have to do it by the rules.
yeah,
Again, Mercury says, so you can see you had that experience with the crochet. You're having it again with the astrology.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, so I just need to go my own way and learn it as I learn it rather than try and fit my square peg in a round hole again.
When you were in the astrology community back back then, did you feel
Yeah.
something similar? Like you don't have a chance to express yourself because someone else knows better?
Um, Not overly. I didn't feel like I totally fitted. Yeah, but I don't feel like I fit many places. I'm happy with that, but I don't feel I'm not uh very good at being a sheep. I don't always want to be the leader, but I don't want to just sit there and be led either. Um, yeah,
You
but
are
it, it
resilient.
was definitely interesting, and it was nice once a week to be able to talk about astrology. It was more, the person leading the group doing the talking, but she was very interesting. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be nice to, yeah. I mean, I have obviously friends, but when I try and talk about astrology, they sort of just look at me. My husband is into it a little bit. Um, but yeah, it would be nice to be able to talk. But yeah, I need to, because I've been so concentrated on, the situation with my grandson. I need to just pull a little bit of time for myself and do what I want to do, as in learn astrology, because it just fascinates me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling the Jupiter Mercury, right? Because that's your study of astrology. And then the square with Saturn the ninth again, that you don't find people to talk with and you would really like to improve and you would really like to understand it and go much deeper in it and master it, in fact, but do it in a fun and spontaneous way. This is what I'm
Yeah,
seeing here.
yeah.
Okay.
So, um, how long will that transit in Saturn be? Was it square to my Saturn or?
Well,
Uh,
it's going to be there for a while. I'll show you right now. However, you have to keep in mind that because all the planets are moving, that Saturn square changes its meaning over time.
okay.
Okay, I'll give you an example. This is the transits for today. And you can see you're going through the Saturn square since a while, right? We've been talking about that. And in fact, Saturn is going to be squaring your Saturn for until the end of this year, essentially, and a little bit into next year. So until early
Okay.
2027. However,
Yeah.
Venus has just entered Cancer. So Venus is moving towards your Saturn. She's already applying a conjunction. Okay. So Venus and
Nice.
Jupiter are both co-present with your Saturn. This makes me think about our conversation today because finally you're able to have a nice chat about your chart, really meet with someone who's into astrology as much as you are.
Yeah.
Right. And so that Saturn square suddenly is affected by Venus. And so it's not the same. There's little improvements. You can think about it also, like notice, I'm going to take you somewhere else now. Venus is at 3, right? It's going to take her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days to reach Saturn. This
Yeah.
for me also is that during this period, you're going to be exploring what are the options and resources that you can get in order to take care of your grandson, right? Because it's the Saturn Cancer, your responsibility as a grandmother and as a parent now. And there's Venus on top of it, people helping you to find the resources necessary to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, because one of the resources would be a little bit of respite, and then in that time, I would be able to then study. Because although I can read books while Arthur's running around, I don't get to think deeply because every so often he'll be like, "Granny, Granny, Granny." So my brain, although I can read and assimilate some of it, I can't have like I can feel that I'm not having the deeper thoughts that I would if I had a bit of time just to process what I'm reading. So that would be what would then come, when he can go to a club or something, I can take my astrology books with us and I can have 5 minutes thought for myself.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the Mercury Saturn. So just look at how rich it is. Okay, Mercury and Aries in your 5th house. That's Arthur saying, Grammy, Grammy, look at this. Come on. Right?
Yeah.
And there's the square to Saturn in your 9th. You don't have a chance to get into the books and really give yourself the time to self-care through study. There's the
Yeah.
square again.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's not
Makes
bad square.
sense.
I love the granny, 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 granny. But yeah, part of me really wants to study.
Of course, we have these sides to us. Nothing is wrong, or like, of course, you don't dislike, but it's there's different parts of us, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so once it's, there in the chart, it makes it more not bearable as well, but it's just like, that's why. It just makes it clearer. That's what I like about astrology. It's just like, the clarity that you get.
Okay, I want to show you something. Now, I want you to look down here at the movement of Saturn, okay? So I'm going to start fast forwarding month by month. Today is May 22nd. Okay, so 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So you see in 3 months, Saturn is stationing exactly on top of your Mercury. 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. So in 10 months, Saturn will make the final conjunction to your Mercury and square to your Saturn, which means we can expect for the next 10 months for you to be dealing with this dilemma.
That's cool. I can do that.
And then it will something is going to change.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Which is probably how long the funding, because realistically, I've got to fill the forms in with the lady, then it's probably going to go through processes and then by the time the funding money comes through and then I find groups to take him to, that's about the right time frame, isn't it? And then the pressure lifts a little bit.
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
then you can start studying more.
Yeah. So what does that then? So then up at the top there's the Saturn trining, no, sextile my Mercury.
Oh no, that's for the specific date, August 22nd. Never mind about that because Mercury moves very
Okay.
quickly, right? So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Saturn will be transiting your sun in the sixth house thereafter. That makes me think, are you like less mobile, maybe?
As in,
I don't know. I feel like your freedom from day to day is going to be impinged. Maybe you're going to get a little
it's just
overwhelmed.
finance. Yeah, it's just finance that's restricting me at the moment. We are like very um up to the limit just because we've
Uh-huh.
been doing this for a few years now without me working. So any savings and things are like not there anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, just the day to day going out costs money. So it's more about staying in and doing um yeah, just stuff in the home. But that doesn't bother me. I've had that before. Um, it
So
is what it is.
here's what I think about that. Notice that the second house of your general financial situation is ruled by Jupiter. Okay. So currently Saturn is conjunct your Jupiter. Okay.
Yeah.
That for me is kind of this period where, okay, money's getting tight. We've been doing this for a while. We're running out. Now we have to be careful. We need to look for other solutions, right? Because when the conjunction happens, that's the beginning of a very new, long 30-year cycle. Therefore, if Saturn is now at 11, but he's going to retrograde on top of Jupiter in December, that tells me that probably you're going to get your money around December.
Yeah.
And
That's
then you'll
cool.
start
Well,
fresh
it's the
with
summer
that.
months.
Huh?
It's the summer months. It's easier to be at home in the garden and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does all that make
Cool.
sense?
Yes. Yeah. Very, very good. So, my second house is ruled by Jupiter because it's Sagittarius. Is that right?
Correct.
So when I look to what's happening to my Jupiter, that will be what's affecting my finances.
Yeah. Roughly speaking, yes. But when you
Yeah.
say it like that, that makes me think about, well, hold on a minute. You're soon going to go through your Jupiter trine. That's going to happen in July. And so it feels like maybe
Oh,
there's money on the way sooner.
oh.
And then
I
it
am
becomes a little bit harder to tell.
I am just dabbling on things on YouTube as well. So yeah, maybe one of those will go um sort of
What do
yeah.
you
I
mean
might
dabbling with things on YouTube?
I do a channel. I haven't videoed for a while, but there's a Granny Annie creates um like crochet channel that I'm hoping to be able
Ah,
to put a bit more time into. And I'm also doing a um tarot sort of thing just so I can do a bit of intuitive thing. But maybe one of those will sort of, but again, it's having the time. I do that once Arthur's gone to bed, but as you can appreciate, I haven't got loads of energy at the end of a really busy
okay,
day.
I do
So
feel
yeah, but
I think you're going to be doing more of that when Jupiter enters Leo, because the nature of Leo is to express.
yeah.
And the nature of Cancer, where Jupiter is currently, is to take care. So
Oh,
that makes
okay.
me think about this period of like Jupiter in Cancer, like where you're really getting to learn what you need to do, how you're going to take care, what are the things, how are you going to arrange the whole life. And then as soon as Jupiter enters in Leo, that feels like, okay, now you're going to start creating more for you too.
Oh, cool.
That's coming very soon in the summer.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the sort of because I'm thinking finance wise, it's nice to be able to get grants or whatever, funding from the government or wherever the funding's coming from. But I'd like to provide for myself. So, yeah,
Mm.
it'd be nice to be able to do something because the thing that I learned about YouTube is that it's evergreen. So once you've done the content and set up something to sell, it will sell in the background, which is what I think would be nice. So you put the effort up front and then reap the rewards hopefully later.
Yeah, that makes me think about Pluto that is squaring your moon, because Pluto is in Aquarius in the third house. You know, the third house is for communication, whereas Aquarius is social networks and connecting with humanity. So for me, that you're doing this YouTube project and it's square your moon in Taurus, right? It's your crocheting that you do in your private time after you're done taking care of Arthur and you're in the night. That's when you can make stuff, right? And at that
Yeah.
time, you post the stuff. So there I feel the Pluto square to your moon, which tells me you will start doing that this year, because Pluto's going to be squaring your moon the whole time
Oh, cool.
from Aquarius to Taurus, right? So there I see what you're describing very well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I
Oh,
like Pluto as well because it's like death and rebirth, isn't it? So actually, because I was doing it before we decided that Arthur needed to live with us, so obviously I had a bit more free time. That's when I was doing the YouTube channel. But since then, I've really struggled to find the time. But I'm hoping to bring it back online once everything settles a bit more. Because obviously, just moving house in January, we're still only in May. It's especially for a boy that doesn't like total change. I can feel he's getting more settled every day, so I can then do less caring and more other stuff.
exactly. 27 and 28 are going to be big for you in that project with the YouTube.
Nice. I can
Yeah,
wait till then.
I'm very sure. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
cool.
27 is
I'll
going to
be
be
doing
big.
then.
Okay. Okay, so let's pause there for today.
Thank you.
What did you think? What are you left with?
Yeah, my mind's just blown again. That was great. That was really, really good. I just like seeing how everything connects and you can show me, oh, that mean, when something happens, like with the new moon, um, how it affects everything, and then how the transiting planet, like when you said about the Venus reaching my square Saturn, that's when the sort of, the love sort of shines on my Saturn. That's yeah, really good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Just changing location quickly. Give me a moment. I'm going to stop recording, but I'd like to talk to you for just another minute or two, okay?
Yeah.
All right.